everybody, and welcome to my Pocket Empires tutorial. I'm going to be basically going over a few of the first steps that you would want to take when starting brand new on a server. Specifically Freedom. Of course, this works for all servers, but the other servers have different advantages when it comes to being a part of an alliance. It's a lot easier to borrow troops or get what are called starter packs by the veterans and from the veterans in your alliances to help you build a lot more quickly on those servers. On the Freedom server, you have to build up more the way the game was intended. So I am going to go ahead and show you some of the first steps that you would take to building your empire on the Freedom server. Just a note, I am by no means the ultimate expert or the top of the leaderboard or any of this. It was not that long ago that I was a noob. So actually, that being said, that's what kind of makes me, I think, a little more qualified in some ways to be showing the ropes to this, because I've learned a lot of great tricks from a lot of the great players of this game. And it's not that, like I said, it hasn't been that long since I was a noob myself, so I remember what it's like, and I think I can still sort of speak the language, as it were. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got our new city here. It's where you start when you first sign in. You've made your character. I'm using my Glory account for this particular tutorial, and as you can see, it's not necessarily a new account. I have plenty of gold and food, and a large hourly rate in comparison to somebody who's just starting off. So I will try to keep that in mind, and obviously keep that in mind yourself if you're brand new to this game. Those are going to take a little bit of time to build up, but that's one of the keys in this game is patience. So I'm going to hit the back button on my phone and to enter my city here. As you can see, here we go. I've got the 9 empty spaces of the city. Bear with my screen capture program here. The frame rate is not exactly real time, but it's as close as we're going to get, I think. It keeps up pretty well, considering. So we've got our empty spaces here. So the first thing we're going to do is choose any of these empty spaces. Just tap one of the empty spaces. For whatever reason, I picked the center one. And you can see our list of available buildings with that we can build. If there's red writing, means there's some prerequisite that is not met. And at this stage, as you can see, the only thing that we are able to build at this point is our castle. So go ahead and tap the castle, and there you go, it's started, and it's going to take 36 minutes and change to build. Every new city you build, when you build your castle, it's going to prompt you to accelerate the production, which will cost you mana. So at this point, how about we go ahead and look at the Lord tab. So here's our command tab. I believe the tutorial went through most of this with you. How to access the map, it's pretty self-explanatory. Tap map and you'll get to the map. Hit the place button and you have your cities list, as well as your marked or favorites list, and you can mark almost any spot on the map when you tap on it. Forts, cities, blank spaces, trees, monsters, whatever. Then your mail, your report, your alliance section where you can look at your current alliance and its stats, or join an alliance if you're not already a member, manage your alliance, like you can quit your alliance, that type of stuff, start a new alliance if you have the golden food to do so. Friends, pretty self-explanatory. Leaderboard, again, explanatory. The shop, let's quickly look at the shop. There are a few things you might want to sort of be familiar with. As you can see down below, it has my gem count. The gems are the key to this game. Everything else, it can be gotten, can be sold for gems. Everything is gems. When you fight, it's gems. When you fight in the war zone against Phoenix, or if you are Phoenix against Dragon, the gems are the key. That's how you win, is by having gems. So one of the biggest key strategies that I've learned, and I'm still learning, is gem economy. We'll go into this in more advanced tutorials down the line. For now, let's stick with the basics. So in the shop, you can buy these power-ups. Build management is a power-up that you're likely going to use often, more than often. It's something that I have always on. I try not to buy them. In fact, especially when you're new, avoid spending gems. Do whatever you can to not spend gems at all. Let them build up. You have that 72-hour period where you can't enter the market anyway, so that helps with that as far as not spending, but it also hinders in the fact that you can't sell anything to get gems. We'll go into market at another time. Again, just as a brief overview of the shop while we're getting started here. So the other one I want to show you in the power-up section is the advanced move order. Most often referred to as an AMO. You'll see that in the chats, in the alliance chat, referred to as AMO. These can be very useful for several reasons that I won't go into exactly right this moment, but keep those two major power-ups in mind: build management and advanced move order. They are something you're going to become very familiar with as you progress in the game. Potions we'll look at as well. Again, these are kind of self-explanatory. Light healing potions, great healing potions. Great healing potions are the best value for the gems, and it's going to be very tempting to use them early on. I urge you not to use them until you've gathered a lot more gems. I mean, you see my gem count here, and that is not great. It's actually pretty terrible. This is a server that I farm on. I just recently purchased in the market a bunch of troop units, and my gems are low, and I'm sad about it. But as we go through the potions, and you see the mana potions, I believe the tutorial should have shown you about health and mana, and these are very key things. And you're going to see there's attack potions. These will raise your attack points. Defense potions, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. I like to have attack and speed potions running all the time alongside build management. It's just good practice. Generally, you are going to be able to get away with having those potions without having to buy them. So again, this is just to let you have an idea of what's in the shop and give you an idea of what things cost, because this is how we gauge our economy in a lot of ways, is this is where this is the retail price for these items, and the idea is to never pay retail. In fact, never ever pay retail, if pay at all. Okay, so our castle is 30 minutes away. Let's go ahead and accelerate it. You can, of course, in the city tab here, in the city tab, you can rename your city whatever you want. I'm going to leave it New City for now. And I'm going to accelerate the production, which is going to cost, when you're new, I believe it's going to cost 50 mana points. This is not a new account for me, so I've done the research to reduce that down to 30 mana. I'm going to accelerate, and that gives us our castle. Sometimes you have to reset the game in order to get the castle back. Sometimes going to the map will do the trick. No, I have to reset. Okay, so I quit the game and came back in, and there our castle is complete. And I'm going to go ahead and you see those two yellow spaces. These are where you can build gold mines and farms. Gold mines mine gold, farms produce food. I'm going to go ahead and build a gold mine to start with, and that's going to take me about a minute and a half. Now, the next building we're going to build, the only building I believe we can build right in this moment, is a command center. You're going to have to wait until your gold mine is complete, likely. I believe I have build management on right now. No, as you can see, my build queue is full because I do not have build management on. So, $40 seconds to go. Okay, so the gold mine is complete. I'm going to go ahead and build a command center. Command centers basically have one function. They hold your armies. As the description says, armies gather here. The higher level the command center is, the more armies you can send simultaneously, and the more reinforcements you can hold in the city. On the Freedom server, this is very important. If you have loaned troops, you can't move other people's troops without command center, and you can't move other people's troops without having your own troops. So you need at least a level 2 command center in order to move. This is a little more advanced for where we're at right now, but trust me, command centers have become very important on the Freedom server. Well, they're important on every server, but especially so. This is an important building and you want to upgrade it, definitely in your first city, because you're going to need as many armies as possible at the early stages, and I'll explain why in a little while. So, get the command center started. It's going to take about 3 minutes. In the meantime, let's have a look at the help section.